Well, hello Rusty Gang, and welcome to the second update video of the 1 month build challenge. I said to myself, I want to build this Special Hobby P-40 Warhawk in 1/72 scale within 31 days. This video sums up day 9 till day 17, I think. So let's find out how far I got in the build. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so we reach the 2K subscriber level fast, because we got this bonus items that we want to send out to you guys. And if you want to give something back to the channel, you can give me a super thanks. Attach a message to it and I'll read it in one of my future videos. Just like David here. In the decal solution check part 2, he donated $4.99 and said thanks. Well, no, David, thanks to you. And he also left a comment to the video, and he said, as much as I admire Tamiya kits, their decals need a really strong solution. That's right, they really do. Not messing with the decals when the solutions are working is the hard part. We know what will happen, and yet, yeah, we still want to touch it. But it's like MC Hammer. You can't touch this.
You can't touch this.
So thanks a lot, David. Much appreciated. And now let's find out, where am I in the build and how is this entire thing going? Can I make it within the 31 days? Follow me. So this is day 9 and it's time for the marriage. The marriage of the wings and the fuselage. This is a dry fitting test. The fitting was quite good. Not quite as good as the fitting of the wings. Fitting of the wings was a bit better than the fuselage to the wings. But still okay, not a big problem. Still sanding the clear parts with the Tamiya diamond file, which is actually made to sand the PE parts, to clean the PE parts, the edges and everything. But it's also very good to sand the clear parts. I glued the canopy, that front piece, the windshield, with the microcrystal clear, then cleaned it with a brush. And since I had no Eduard masking sheet set, which actually would have been nice for this build to save some time, I had to do my own mask and cut it out by myself. I used the pencil to show me where to cut. Then basically just cut it out on the cutting mat and then put it back on the canopy piece. It didn't work too good, so I did it in the traditional way. I did the rest in the traditional way. What I did is I still used the pencil to better see the line where I have to cut exactly, but I did it on the clear parts itself. After I masked everything again with the mask hole, my favorite masking putty these days, I could finally start priming it. And I used the Vallejo acrylic black primer. Okie dokie, Rusty Gang, time for the next build update. I'm now in, what date do we got? 24th. Okay, I'm now on day 11. Day 11 of the build. I started priming today. Here, some parts I primed. I mentioned earlier, small parts. Hello. All right. Let's try it one more time. So I laid down the first coat of primer. Should turn on the light maybe. Yeah, laid down the first coat of primer. Yeah, in the middle of the priming, almost finished with the lower surface. Haven't touched the upper surface yet. I saw that, you know, those seam lines here kind of are still visible. I was expecting this, but now I can really see it. You know, this is the reality check. I got a harsh reality. Can still see those small ghost seam lines, like, and I'm sure it will be the same on the upper surface. So I thought, like, yeah, I will have to try the microfiller again. It's time again for the good old microfiller trick. So I'm gonna use the Alclad primer, black microfiller with the microfilling components in it. I'll just spray it over those areas and then gently sand it. So I will sand the microfiller components into those lines and they will completely disappear. And it's also like primed, you know? This is a primer. You can also use this as a primer. They suggest if you want to go like high gloss that you put another gloss black primer over it, but I don't want to go high gloss, so I might as well just use that coat as a primer. But at least parts of it I will sand away, so I'll have to go over it anyway. And if I go over it anyway, I'll use the black surface primer. What I also did is use the green chromate again for the canopy pieces. I masked the inside with the Humbrol Maskol, and outside I did my own masking, as you maybe saw in the update before. So yeah, I painted this with the green chromate. That's the inside color, and now the outside color will be going over this here. Same here. First I sprayed the interior chromate, the light chromate green, and I used the spare canopy part to put it here because I want to have it with the open canopy in the end. So what I did here is just use the spare canopy parts. Luckily there are two in the kit, and I can mess that up, take it away, and then in the end, you know, place the open one in open position. Otherwise it would be a bit complicated. Manageable, but complicated. Yeah. Anything else? No, I don't know. I think that's it. Thanks, man. So if you want to know what I was talking about with my microfiller trick, I made a video about this. I'll link it in the up here, and I also put the link in the description. If I don't forget it, if I think about it, then I'll just put the link there so you can check it out. I think, yeah, when you have these kind of nasty seam lines, not the big ones, but also not the small ones, but those who become small when you fill them, but they are still visible, then I think the microfiller is just the best solution. You save a lot of time and nerves. You just have to use the product. You need to wear a mask because it's lacquer. It's a lacquer paint. And then just do a little bit of sanding. Not use a low number grit. Use a high number grit, and the seam line will disappear like it's magic. Believe me, bro, it's like magic. On day 13, I could start with the pre-shading. I used cold gray, and I applied it on the areas which are more exposed to wind and weather a bit more maybe, or where areas where you stepped on. Next day I used Vallejo Model Air. I used IJA Earth Brown to give some more tone variation. I really like to play around with the colors a bit when it comes to pre-shading. But here I didn't go too far because, yeah, I need to save some time. Then I painted the window areas with olive drab. And I kind of, yeah, brightened it up a little bit here with a brighter tone, like a beige tone. On day 15 it was time for the neutral gray, that's the color for the lower surface. Again, I'm using Warhawk Model Air acrylics. For the propeller I tried out something I didn't use quite some time. That's the transpirator. So I mixed this signal red with transpirator, not with thinner, to make sure that, you know, the pre-shading tone shines through a little bit more than just thinned down paint. And for the propeller rubber black, I really thinned down a lot. I tried to spray it on in a certain angle so that I can make a fade from the lower edge of the blades onto the upper edge. So I don't spray the entire surface, but try to fade it a bit. Alright, Rusty Gang, time for another build update. I'm now in day 17. So it's the 17th day of the build, and here's where I am. I'm just before applying the color on the upper surface. So the color on the upper surface will be USAF tan. USAF tan, okay? Now the instructions here, they suggest the color called sand, but they refer to the Gunze colors. And I'm not using Gunze colors, I'm using Warhawk Model Air colors. Come on, focus here. Warhawk Model Air colors. And I also have the US sand right here, but this looks too orange for me, you know? I don't know, a little bit too much orange. So I was looking a little bit further and I discovered this USAF tan, which I think has exactly the exact tone. I mean, to me, not the exact tone, but the tone that I was looking for. So here we are. You can see that the windows are in place and I masked them again, and this spare canopy piece here is in place again, and again like sealed with masco, with the Humbrol masco. The pre-shading, everything is done, and the lower surface is already painted with the neutral gray. Now this is where we are here with the model. Everything is assembled so far, primed, pre-shaded, and also half of the paint job is already done. A little bit more than half of the paint job, because behind those windows there is olive drab. So there's a third color actually. There's a third color besides the interior color. So yeah, this is all done. And what else have I done? I have painted these few parts here, which is the nose. I painted in red and I kind of faded it. I'm quite happy with how it looks. We will see how it really looks on the finished aircraft. Also here I did kind of a fading. I first painted the propeller with aluminum or steel, I think it was, and then just yeah, you saw it, like a thin coat of not even black, I think it was rubber black. Then the tank, I decided to use the tank and not the bomb. So here's the external tank. I painted it halfway through. I need one more session with the neutral gray. Then here, pieces of the landing gear. First I black primed it and then hand painted it with aluminum. Day 17. At the moment I feel quite safe that I can make it within the 31 days. So let's find out if I'm correct or not. Let's go.